Hello, this is Mart, and today I'll be talking to you about why Red Dead Redemption 2 is still a masterpiece in 2024. Also, there are timestamps in the video, so feel free to skip to the parts you care about. But anyways, let's get the important stuff said first, like the story. Red Dead has been praised a lot, whether it's gameplay or characters or whatever you name it, but specifically the story. Now, you play as Arthur Morgan, who's part of the Dutch Vanderlyn gang and is on the run from the Pinkertons. And as a character, I have to say, Arthur Morgan is the best written character compared to other main characters like Jin Sakai or Ellie. Now, speaking of awards this game has got, are pretty spectacular. The Labour of Love Award, Best Narrative, Game of the Year, Outstanding Story Rich Award. You get it. The game isn't bad at all. It's received all of these awards and recognition. I wouldn't blame it. It deserves it. Let's not forget to mention how many people are still active on this game right now in 2024. But anyways, most of the story, you're just going from place to place to get money and go for the dream Dutch has for his gang. The plot is pretty simple and straightforward, but it's the characters that add the uniqueness. Some being Dutch, Micah, Sadie, like you could tell these characters are made with such passion and dedication from Rockstar. Another thing is, this is just me, but this might be surprising or shocking. Other people might have the same opinion, but I feel that Red Dead Redemption 2 gives a better story and meaning compared to some movies and shows, even new gen ones. And for me, Red Dead Redemption 2 is why gaming is always alive and so popular all the time. Like, even now, Red Dead Redemption 2 has around 23,000 players on Steam, let alone the other launchers like Rockstar and Epic Games, when it's going to have way more on them. Now, characters-wise, I feel like because of the length of the game, at least to me, every character gets plenty of screen time showing the character and giving each gang member something to be occupied with. But honestly, when I was playing this game, I felt so immersed into the story, like I was actually there. And I enjoyed that feeling a lot. Red Dead Redemption 2 compared to the first game, if you were to compare it, I would have to say the sequel destroys it in terms of storytelling. Like, there's just no comparison to the first one. Another thing is, which I find really beautiful, is throughout the story you could see how Arthur develops as a character. You know, even though he's done bad things in the past, it's very appealing to see. It shows how loyal Arthur is to Dutch and the other gang members are to each other, which I find really interesting. Another thing I want to add on is how much control you have in the game. Like, your actions can determine how people will see you and even change how the story ends. Also, you can interact with wildlife, which I think is pretty cool as well. Red Dead is a very long game, and due to it mainly being story, you can get burnt out if you mainly focus on story, not to mention the pacing issues. I don't know, for me the game just feels stretched out in a way. Later in the chapters they feel like they are rushed or the pacing is bad, one of the two or both, at least to me. But these are small complaints. Other than that, you can't really complain about Red Dead story because of how well it's made. And I think the story is crafted really close to almost perfection. And it definitely left a footprint in the gaming industry that will continue to stay there. From what I've seen so far, this game is something that will stick with you for a long time. And it's not just about being an outlaw, it's about living and change. And overall, it's how you will leave behind a legacy. Now, gameplay-wise, Red Dead has really good gameplay. I mean, Rockstar did make GTA 5 and also did this. So, the gameplay isn't going to be bad. Even if the gameplay is all good, I will tell you it does get repetitive and there's not much you can do when the game is around 50 hours long. So, yeah. The open world is packed with content and interactions, like you can interact with AI, talk with them, or even piss them off. You can go bounty hunting, fishing, and even raid houses and other things that I still haven't experienced yet. Now, gunplay wise, it feels really good. It also feels a bit old. You take cover, peek, then shoot. I don't know, it feels a bit old, but the best thing for me is when they die and they flop around, or the ragdoll physics. That's very entertaining for me, at least. But generally speaking, the AI is amazing compared to other open world games. I also like the fact you can interact with basically everyone. It adds to the game a lot in terms of immersiveness. And one thing I'd like to mention, and please take this seriously, is not to use tonics. One of the tonics can basically make you invincible, and it kind of ruins the game's purpose. So don't do that. For me, it ruined the enjoyment and the immersive experience. Like, even one of the tonics, you can literally get infinite Deadeye. Like that. No, I don't think anyone wants that if you want to play a story game. One thing I also want to say is it's literally the first game, just with better graphics, but too much better graphics to be exact. Like, the horse's balls shrink when it's winter. Like, I don't know who put in that detail, but thank you. Now, speaking about Deadeye, I feel like it makes the game too easy. For me, it removed the feeling of a shootout because I just shoot them so quick before they even take their guns out. I don't know, it sort of ruined it for me, which is also one of the reasons I spoke of tonics, because you can literally have infinite Deadeye, which I mentioned before. Main missions are really good, but Rockstar's gameplay is getting old. You can experience that with the main missions since they're restrictive, and you can't really do anything creative. For example, the linear missions, they pull you away from the open world. Like if you walk too far, the mission will fail. I just wish the missions were aligned with the world and not linear. Guns wise, I wish there was more variety, but it makes sense why there isn't, considering the time period of which this game is based off, Wild West. But you know, the guns feel good and powerful, so I wouldn't complain about that. For customization, there's quite a bit, especially Arthur. You could change his hair, his clothes, his beard, and even weight. Also, your clothes get dirty and your weapons degrade in quality. Your clothes also get wet. I'm just really shocked how far this game is in terms of small details like that. And it does a big part for you while playing a game to be immersive or to get hooked onto. Like, it's breathtaking how good this game actually is. People living their lives, people dying, NPCs reacting to players, even robbing. Not to mention the NPCs, they actually work. Like, you can see them throughout the game building houses. Now, camp wise, there isn't much to it. Even if you invested in a camp, which Dutch tells you when you first reach the camp, when you move from the winter area, it just nothing really happens. It's just the ability to craft some items, but it was just a bit of a letdown, you know. Either way, I'll tell you to focus on guns. Just focus on guns. The camp won't do that much. I'm just saying that. Speaking of guns, the customization is actually pretty good. The details of when you are customizing a gun, like they are very noticeable, and honestly, I appreciate them, or they appreciate it. Yeah, graphically, the game, I'm like shocked. This game surpasses a lot of new gen games in terms of graphics. Like you have forests, you have cities, you have mountains, even shooting the water has cool effects. Like this game surpasses a lot of new gen games in graphics. I'm still shocked at that. You can also do side things like playing checker, poker. You get it. The game has a lot of variety to it where you can do a lot of side tasks. Honestly, there isn't much more to say other than go play the game. And it's honestly like spectacular. Like I haven't even talked about the other things like the actor who plays, like I mentioned before, Roger Clark, who won the Best Performance Award. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, he won the Best Performance Award. Like honestly, this game's really good. You literally need to play it. You're missing out if you don't play this game. Honestly, you need to play this game. If you actually look at how much detail is put into this game and how much subtleness of the small things like the details of another horse's ball shrinking and all that, but just the small details of the clothes getting wet or when you shoot the water, you will appreciate this game so much, even though it came out in 2018. You need to play it, please. You just need to play it. Yeah, and you'll get hooked onto the story so quick. You just wouldn't want to stop playing unless you get burnt out, like I was mentioning before in the story section of this video. But honestly, you literally need to play it. The writing in this game, there's no game to compare it to. There's no game. Even the gameplay, like matched with the story and the gameplay together, it's just almost perfection. It's literally you can't go wrong with this game. You genuinely can't go wrong with this game. And hopefully Red Dead 3 was going to be really similar to this in terms of standards and expectations, because I expect a lot for Red Dead 3. And honestly, I hope Red Dead 3 is going to be really good as well. Please do not be a letdown. I do not want Red Dead 3 to be a letdown. One thing I do want to mention is this video is based off my opinion and what I've seen so far and played. So hopefully I gave you a better insight to buying this game and a better view on this game, because I could tell you right now, this game, you as a person who's watching this video, you need to play it. You just need to play it. Disclaimer, I know this video is kind of late again. It's not really that late. I mean, I'm improving, but other than that, I don't have much more to say. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and take care.